Hello friends, so now in this session today we are going to discuss about a few numericals on a operational amplifier. You can see the first example, determine the output voltage for the following circuit. Now here if you look at the circuit diagram, it is a non-inverting amplifier. It is a non-inverting because the whatever the input voltage is there, input voltage is given to a non-inverting terminal of the amplifier. So we know that for a non-inverting amplifier, that the closed loop gain is given as 1 plus Rf by R1. Now in this example, Rf and R1, Rf is same as R1 and that is 10 kilo ohm is there. So here if we see ACL is equal to a 1 plus 1 and that will be a 2. You have to find out the gain of the amplifier. You have to find out what is the output voltage. So ACL means it is a VO is equal to 2 into VI, and so 2 into the input voltage is 100 millivolt. So the output voltage of the circuit is going to be a 200 millivolt. So basically this circuit has a unity gain, not a unity gain, but Rf by R1 is same. So it is a 1 plus 1. So the gain of the amplifier is 2, and that's why your input signal is increased by 2 times. Now let us see another example. So here in this circuit, in the following circuit, find out the I1, VO, IL and IO. What we have to calculate? The current I1. Then you have to find out what is the current IL. Then what is the output voltage. And then the current in the operational amplifier, that is IO. Now here if you see, then this circuit is nothing but it is a inverting amplifier. And by applying the concept of a virtual ground, here you can calculate what is the value of I1. So this is connected to a ground, non-inverting terminal is connected to ground, means here this potential VA is equal to 0. Here this both the potential, because the current inside the operational amplifier is going to be 0. So this potential at A, it behaves like a ground, and from this you can find out what is the value of the current I1. So first of all, if we see, then the I1 is given as, that is the potential across the R, potential difference across the R1. The current is flowing from VI to a VA. So we can write that VI minus VA divided by R1, and the VI is a 0.7 volt minus 0 and R1 is given a 20 kilo ohm. It is a 20 kilo ohm, and then you can calculate a current. So this current will comes out to be a 35 microampere. Right? Now we will calculate what is the output voltage. So to calculate the output voltage, calculation of VO. Correct? To calculate the output voltage, you should know what is the gain of the amplifier. Here in this case, the ACL closed loop gain is given as minus Rf by R1. Minus Rf by R1, or we can say that the output voltage is given as minus Rf by R1 into VI. So this is RF is 100 kilo ohm, the R1 is 20 kilo ohm, and the VI is given a 0.7. So the output voltage will come out to be 100 by 20, so it will be a 5 multiplied by 0.7, so it is minus 3.5. So voltage at this point we have minus 3.5 volt. Current what we have calculated, that the current is a 35 microampere, correct? So we have calculated the output voltage. Now we can calculate what is the load current. IL. And here in this diagram you can see that the IL is equal to nothing, but it is a output voltage divided by resistance. So the load current IL is equal to VO by RL. VO is minus 3.5 volt and the value of the load resistance is given at 10 kilo ohm. 10 kilo ohm. So your current will come out to be a 0.35 milliampere. This is a 10k 10 raised to minus 3, it will be a milliampere, 3.5 divided by 10. So it is minus 0.35 milliampere. Now remember here, that negative sign is indicating, it is only indicating the direction of current. Here, this end of the resistance is connected to the ground, so it is at higher potential. Here we have a negative potential minus 3.5, and already you know the current is always flowing from higher potential to lower potential, so the load current is flowing in this direction. Correct? It is only indicating the direction. But when you are calculating the total current, at that time you have to ignore the direction of the current. Now you have to find out what is the IO. Calculation of the output current. And here now you can see that whatever my input current was there, I1, this I1 is also flowing like this, that is the I1, correct? IL is flowing in this way. So if we apply the KCL at this output terminal, KCL means Kirchhoff's current law, then we can write applying KCL at VO, then we can say that the output current is equal to a I1 plus IL, and that I1 is my 0.35 milliampere, IL is 0.35, I1 is 35 microampere and I1 is 0.35 milliampere, and therefore your total current, here you have to take the summation of a milliampere and microampere. So either you convert your current into a microampere or you convert both the current into a milliampere. So when you take the summation, then this will comes out to be a 0.385 milliampere. Your answer will be a 0.385 milliampere. So in this way, whatever the circuit is given, if you know the direction of current, then you can find out the rest of the parameter. So here in this output current, I have not considered the sign of the load current. It is actually a minus 0.35, but I already mentioned negative sign is only indicating the direction of current. But when you are applying the KCL, at that time you can ignore that negative sign. Okay. Now look at another example. The same kind of the example is there, but instead of a inverting amplifier, the non-inverting amplifier is given to you, and you can see what is the direction of all the current. You have to find out the value of the current I1. You have to find out the value of the current I1 as well as the load current IL and the output current IO. Correct? The same way we will calculate the first of all we will calculate the I1. Correct? Calculation of I1, and for calculation of the I1, here again we applied a concept of a virtual ground. So whatever the potential at this non-inverting terminal is there, the same potential will be at a inverting terminal. So this my VA will be equal to a 0.8 volt. Both the terminals will be at the same potential. So across the resistance R1, here this potential is 0.8 volt, this potential is 0. So we can write that the I1 is equal to a VA minus 0 divided by resistance R1. VA is a 0.8 volt divided by R1 is a 10 kilo ohm. So now you can calculate the value of this current, and that will comes out to be a 80 microampere. 80 microampere. Correct? Now we will calculate what is the output voltage. And for the output voltage, we know that VO is equal to ACL into VI. Correct? And this is a non-inverting amplifier. So my ACL is 1 plus RF by R1 into VI. And that is equal to 1 plus RF is 20 kilo ohm, R1 is 10 kilo ohm, and the input voltage is 0.8 volt. So here we have 20 divided by 10, so 2 plus 1, 3, multiplied by 0.8, so 2.4 volt. 2.4 volt will be the output voltage. Remember, this is the positive voltage. And from that, now you can calculate what is the load current. Third one is a load current, IL. So IL is equal to, we can write VO divided by RL. VO is 2.4 volt. RL, how much value of the load resistance is there? It is a 2 kilo ohm. So 2.4 divided by 2, 1.2, and the kilo ohm is there, so it is a 1.2 milliampere. And now finally you can calculate the output current calculation of IO. So that output current is given as a I1 plus IL. I1 is 80 microampere and IL is 1.2 milliampere. 80 microampere and 1.2 milliampere. So this will come out to be a 1.28 milliampere. Right? So in a inverting amplifier, this output current was flowing inside the operational amplifier, but in a non-inverting amplifier, this output current is flowing out from the operational amplifier. So here again, the one circuit is given and you have to find out what is the output voltage. Correct? So first of all, you have to look at it is a inverting amplifier or a non-inverting amplifier. So here you can see that input voltage, this input voltage is given to a non-inverting terminal, means we have to use a formula for the non-inverting amplifier. In non-inverting amplifier, for a non-inverting amplifier, we know that the output voltage is given as a ACL into a input voltage, and ACL for the non-inverting is a 1 upon RF by R1 into VI. But now remember, this VI is not as you say it is given in the example. Here, whatever the VI is there, or you can say it is a VI dash. So actually this VI dash means what? The voltage appear at the non-inverting terminal. When we have calculated, when we have derived the expression for a non-inverting amplifier, at that time we have considered the potential at a non-inverting terminal. Remember, this voltage. So, in this formula, this is a VI dash, not a VI. So, now I have to calculate what will be the VI dash, and that value I will write in this formula. You can calculate the output voltage. Now, if you look at this network, then this network is nothing but it is a potential divider rule. Here you can potential divider circuit is there. This is connected to ground. This one is R2 and this one is R4. My input voltage is 6 and I want to calculate what is VI dash. Correct? So directly we can say that VI dash by applying a potential divider rule. Remember, here I am not writing what is that rule, but the VI dash is equal to, you can say, VI into across which you are going to calculate the voltage, that resistance R4 divided by R2 plus R4, that is my total resistance. Correct? So this is equal to, my VI is given as a 1 volt divided multiplied by this, both the resistance are 2 kilo divided by 2 kilo plus 2 kilo, and this will comes out to be 2 divided by 4, so 1 by 2, and this voltage will be a 0.5 volt. So what is important in this example, that when we are using this formula for the output voltage, at that time whatever the input voltage is there, this input voltage means the potential at a non-inverting terminal, not your input voltage. You have to calculate that VI dash, and here both the resistance are identical, so the voltage is going to be half, and here it comes out to be a 0.5 volt. Now we can calculate what is the output voltage. So the VO will be equal to 1 plus RF is my 50 kilo and R1 is a 10 kilo multiplied by 0.5 volt. So 5 by 10, so it will be a 50 by 10 means it will be a 5 plus 1, 6. 6 multiplied by 0.5. So output voltage will be a 3 volt. So now look at the another example. So here we have a 2 operational amplifier. Output of the first op amp is given to a second operational amplifier. And what we have to do, find out the output voltage in terms of V1, and V2 for the op amp circuit. So whatever the output voltage is here, that we have to find out in terms of your input voltage V1 and the input voltage V2. So whenever this kind of the problems are given, then you have to identify. You have to identify that it is a inverting or non-inverting amplifier, and for that you have to look at, you have to concentrate on both the operational amplifier one by one. So here if you see, the first stage of the operational amplifier, then this is nothing but it is a inverting amplifier, because you can see your input voltage is given to, it is not a inverting but it is a non-inverting amplifier. Your input voltage is given to a non-inverting terminal, and this is feedback resistance and this resistance R1 is set. So directly by applying a expression of a voltage gain of a amplifier, you can calculate what is the voltage at this point. So first of all, we will calculate the voltage at this point, or you can say the output of the first operational amplifier. So here we can say that first op amp is a non-inverting amplifier. Non-inverting amplifier. So we can write that the output voltage equal to 1 plus Rf by R1 into a input voltage. Correct? This is for a non-inverting amplifier. In your case, here the Rf1 is given, so you write Rf1, and this voltage will be a 1 plus Rf1 is a 10 kilo ohm and R1 is a 100 kilo ohm. Input voltage is nothing but it is a V1. The value of the V1 is not given. 10k divided by 100k, so it will be a 0.1. So this will be a 1.1 equal to a 1.10k divided by this. So it is 1.1 into a V1. Correct? So we have calculated the voltage at this point. Now concentrate on the second one. In second operational amplifier, the input voltage is given to a inverting terminal also, that is here we have calculated 1.1 V1, and the to a non-inverting amplifier V2 potential is there. So in this case, whenever the two different potentials are given, then you can calculate the output voltage by applying the superposition principle. So in superposition principle, if the two sources are there, then you have to consider one of the source connected to ground and calculate the output voltage for the first source. Then the first source will be connected to ground and calculate the output voltage due to the second source, and the summation of both the voltage will give you the output voltage. So here we write for a second op amp. Second op amp. Correct? So we apply the superposition principle. So what we will do, let us say this input is connected to the ground, and we will calculate what is the output voltage due to the V2. For second op amp, here we apply a superposition principle. Correct? So consider first one. Consider the V2 is active. V2 is active and VO1 is 0. VO1 is 0. Then if you see, then this operational amplifier is nothing but it is your non-inverting amplifier. Correct? Here the signal is given to a non-inverting terminal. This R2 is connected to ground, so it is a non-inverting amplifier. And therefore VO1 is 0, Then for non-inverting op-amp, we will write the output voltage that I will call it VO dash. VO dash is voltage due to the V2. It is given as 1 plus RF2 divided by R2 into my input voltage is V2. Correct? And this will come out to be a 1 plus 100K divided by 10K and voltage V2. So 100K divided by 10K will be a 10 plus 1. So it is a 11 V2. So we have calculated VO dash, that is due to the V2. Now we calculate the output voltage due to the VO1. Correct? So now consider V2 is equal to 0 and VO1 is active. Correct? So in that case, the output voltage is okay. Now VO2 is connected to ground. Remember, now this is connected to ground, and the input voltage at this point is 1.1 volt. So now this circuit is behaving like a inverting amplifier. It is a inverting amplifier. Correct? So in that case, we can write for inverting amplifier, that my output voltage VO double dash is minus RF2 by R2 into VO1. Correct? And therefore, this is equal to RF2 is a minus 100K divided by 10K multiplied by VO1 is a 1.1 V1. So it will be 100 divided by 10, so 10 multiplied by 1.1. So this will come out to be a minus 11 V1. Minus 11 V1. And therefore, now the output voltage VO is equal to VO dash plus VO double dash, and that is equal to a VO dash is by 11 V2 minus 11 V1 minus 11 V1. This is V2, remember. And therefore my output voltage will be equal to, I can write as 11 into 11 will be a common, so into V2 minus V1. So in this way, for the analysis of the circuit, you have to apply a superposition principle. Now in this example also, you have to find out the output voltage and consider that both the operational amplifier is a ideal one. Okay? So whenever it is the ideal op-amp, we can apply the virtual ground concept. Okay? Now here if we look at this, then in two amplifiers, the first operational amplifier has given a two input V1 and V2, and that is given to a second operational amplifier. So the most important thing is, first of all, we have to find out what is the voltage at VO1. at this point. And then here if you see the second operational amplifier, then it is nothing but it is a non-inverting amplifier. Okay? So I already mentioned whenever the two potentials are given, you can apply the superposition principle. Correct? So here if we apply the superposition principle to the first operational amplifier, remember, to the first operational amplifier, to op-amp 1. Correct? So here the two sources are there. So you have to consider the one of the source connected to ground. Let us say this is connected to the ground. And here my input voltage is there. Now this input voltage is given to a non-inverting terminal is connected to the ground, and input voltage is given to a inverting terminal. So it is a inverting amplifier. So first of all, consider the V2 is equal to 0 and V1 is active. Correct? So it is a inverting amplifier. It is a inverting amplifier. So we can say that VO1 dash equal to minus RF by R1 into V1. For an inverting amplifier, RF is given as 1K minus 1K divided by 1K, and this is a minus 2 volt. So we have a plus 2 volt output. Now what we have to do? That consider the V1 is connected to ground and the V2 is active. So consider the V1 is equal to 0 and V2 is active. So now if you look at this, then it is a non-inverting amplifier. It is a non-inverting amplifier. And for a non-inverting amplifier, we can write the output voltage as 1 plus RF by R1 into input voltage. And that input voltage means it is my V2. Correct? So this is the 1 plus 1 by 1K by 1K, and the input voltage is given a 1 volt. So 1 by 1, and then again it comes out to be a plus 2 volt. Therefore, the output of first op-amp, means we are talking about this. So VO1 is equal to VO1 dash plus VO1 double dash equal to a 2 volt plus 2 volt, it is a 4 volt. So we have calculated the potential at this point, it is a 4 volt. Now concentrate on another op-amp. So here you can see that 4 volt is given to a non-inverting terminal, and here we have a feedback path. So this is your non-inverting amplifier. Remember, here this is the non-inverting op-amp. So we can write now the second op-amp is inverting amplifier. And for that we can write the output voltage VO is equal to a 1 plus RF by R1 into a input voltage VO1. Correct? And this is equal to 1 plus. Now RF is 1 kilo. This is also 1 kilo. So 1K divided by 1K. But my input voltage is 4 volt. And this comes up to be a 8 volt. So final answer is 8 volt. Okay friend, so I think so. This much number of the numericals are sufficient to understand the working of the operational amplifier. Now in the next lecture we will discuss few more applications of the operational amplifier.